So it's a beautiful day. About to get in the water here. Really calm conditions. Ocean's glassy. Haven't been out at this reef in probably a couple of years. So here is a school of Papilio. They're in the jack family. Usually don't see a school this big. Prized for their fighting abilities as well as their food. Here's a kala or unicorn fish. I guess if there was a fish in Sesame Street, it would look something like this. And there's a blackfish with yellow eyes that I don't think I've ever seen before. And what's great is when you go out snorkeling, it's almost like 20-30% of the time I see something I've never seen before. I'm having a hard time keeping it in view. I have to zoom in with my camera, but hold it out at length so I can take in the larger field of view as well as what's on the viewfinder. Because once you zoom in, it's hard to keep track of things. Here's some vekeula, goatfish. Might be, I don't know if there's obake veke in there, but apparently if you eat the brains of an obake veke, you will have pretty bad nightmares. And obake is like a ghost or shapeshifter, I think, in Japanese. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see these fish with the yellow eyes or eye, whatever that is. Here's a bird wrasse. Wrasses are pretty neat. They change sex and color depending on their age, but they can be quite colorful, and some of them have really interesting uh, designs around their eyes, which I haven't looked into why they have that, but be curious as to what the point of that is. This is all the fish videos I have here are slowed down, half speed. Otherwise, be tough to watch. Now these fish, I guess they're a type of surgeon fish or something. I couldn't find them in my books, but it's interesting how they kind of sway over to their sides here and there. I don't know if that's a means to avoid predation or what, but see it here. They kind of swim on their sides. I don't know what that little fish was. The enforcer there didn't like surgeonfish in his neighborhood. The saddle wrasse in the background there. I think that upper left is a big nanui or chub in that corner earlier, kind of a big fish. Yeah, these wrasse can have amazing colors. Here is a Picasso triggerfish. This is the Hawaii state fish. It's called a huma huma nuku nuku apua'a. And it's not actually the longest name for a fish. There's, I think, one other that's even longer, but it's still pretty long. It's not hard to pronounce, if I can do it. It's not that hard. But obviously it's a coral eater. You can see it's expelling, I guess, grinded through coral. It's probably got some pretty good teeth to munch on the coral and extract whatever nutrients it can. And there's a saddle wrasse that's shadowing it for whatever reason. I missed out getting some video of some cleaner wrasse on a subsequent snorkeling trip. They were going into the gills of these, I guess they were surgeonfish or something. Would have made really great video, but I didn't have my camera with me. I'd seen cleaner wrasse hanging around fish before, and they're kind of small, brightly colored, but I'd never seen them actually go into the gills to do their job, and kind of a rough gig, I guess. Not sure what this is with the yellow tail, but kind of see a better lay of the land of this reef. Gets a lot of fresh water, so it's not going to look as incredibly bright and covered in vibrant coral like you would see in Fiji or the Great Barrier Reef or something. I think that's due largely to the fact that there's a lot of fresh water flowing into this area, so you've got kind of a different environment here with not just the water, but all the nutrients that the water brings in. Here I'm just popping up to see if I've how far I've drifted. I always kind of do this regularly to make sure, also to check out how much sun I've got left, since sunset can come pretty quickly. But also to make sure I'm not too far offshore and not and that the current hasn't taken me too far. So I do this periodically, and to make sure there's no crazy boaters bearing down on me or whatever. It's always good to do that. It's regular practice. There's more of those fish again. There's that blackfish with the yellow eyes. So, bird wrasse. You see right coming into the center of the picture now. See if you can see that fish just sitting still, kind of camouflaged. I got some good turtles on this outing, and they were not too timid. They don't have the highest velocity, but they have some serious acceleration, so if they want to get away from you, they can do so very quickly. I've tried to just go after one swimming, and I just cannot keep up. They can really move when they need to. Curious if this is like deep cycle breathing for the turtle to really get its lungs saturated with oxygen. So they feed on limu, which is seaweed or algae if you prefer, although algae can grow in freshwater, whereas seaweed is confined to the ocean and is strictly multicellular. Anyway, I was out surfing one time and it's just this really bad smell came over, and a surfer not too far from me was like, "You smell that? It's a turtle. I call it limu breath." And now I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Now I can, before a turtle comes up, I can sometimes smell it before I see it. So this is an octopus. The story behind this was I was videoing it, and at one point it changed color. They have these cells called chromatophores that allow it to change color. They can also change texture too, which is interesting to mimic their surroundings. Anyway, this thing changes color and starts glowing and like flashing at me. It was the most insane thing. And I'm ostensibly videoing all of it. It gets done. I look down at my camera. It's off. And I'm like, oh no, my battery died. I hope I got some of that. I tried turning my camera back on. It won't turn on until about maybe 45 seconds later. It comes on and there's no battery issue. I'm like, what the, what was that about? And I'm hoping when I get the videos off that I'll have something. Nothing. It's not there. I'm like, I couldn't have just screwed that up. I was looking at the viewfinder, which captures video. I don't know what happened. I'm not saying it's an alien, but I'm not saying it's not an alien. I don't know. It was truly weird. And I've looked at videos to see if there's anything online that was similar to what I saw, and most of the color changes I've seen of octopus is very mild compared to what I saw. What I saw was like something out of a science fiction movie. I don't know. It's strange. But interesting thing about their ability to change color is that I also read, in trying to figure out what the hell it was that happened to me, is that apparently octopus, they're colorblind. So how can they possibly change color to mimic their backgrounds? I don't know. They're just weird. I don't know what to make of it. It's so here I'm doing another check. See where I am. We see it's getting more towards sunset, and so the lighting's not going to be as good underwater. But you can see Bali High was over in the right-hand side of the picture for a couple seconds there, and beautiful day. Really calm here. So now this turtle had a little. This turtle has a little less nicer shell, I guess, even though it looks like it sustained some damage. A little nicer looking shell than the previous turtle I was following. See a school there of convict tang and surgeonfish. I don't know if this is the evening commute for them. Grab a bite to eat and then hole up in a cave somewhere for the evening or what. This is kind of weird right here. I don't know what that was about. I sense some tension between these turtles. There's some type of butterfly fish I'd never seen before that I thought were cool looking, or at least I hadn't seen them in a long enough time to where I could remember seeing them. So there's a feeding frenzy. I've gone fishing and had convict tangs go after. Those are the fish with the stripes, vertical stripes. Once they start biting something, other fish will jump in. That's how I caught a trumpet fish one time and found out why exactly they're called trumpet fish. It's usually have a pretty narrow mouth, but when you're removing a hook from that mouth, you can see it expand to mimic a trumpet. Here they're just, I think some fish are, oh, and so here's just as I was leaving, a spotted eagle ray. Not too big, but look at that tail. Huge tail. Huge. It's a really long tail. Getting towards the poor visibility here, so. Really good day overall. Happy about a lot of these videos put together.